Hey there, folks. Welcome back to another chilling tale on our channel. Today I've got a story that will make your hair stand on end. It's a real-life encounter that happened to me, and let me tell you, it's one I'll never forget. It was the month of July, and I was heading back to my village from Kathmandu, where I worked and lived. I was excited to see my mom and dad after such a long time. Since I didn't have a car, I had to take a local bus from Kathmandu. After a 3-hour journey, I reached my stop, Dologat. Dologat, meaning two graveyards together, didn't live up to its ominous name. It was a lively place with a city settlement. I was feeling hungry, so I decided to have lunch at a nearby restaurant, where I unexpectedly ran into some old friends from school. They were having a good time, and when they saw me, they insisted I join them. I stayed with them for about 3 hours, and by that point, I was feeling a bit tipsy since I don't usually drink much. Suddenly, my mom called asking where I was and why I hadn't reached home yet. I had completely forgotten about going home. It was already dark, but I decided to leave my friends and head home. My home was about a 2-hour walk away, and while there was a road, it was a quiet path with no settlements in between. I started walking around 9 p.m. I could feel the alcohol in my system. My eyes were heavy, and my bag felt like it was filled with sand. The road was carved into a canyon, with a river flowing below. It was eerily silent, with only the sound of birds chirping and the water crashing against the canyon walls. Suddenly, a cold wind started blowing, pushing me back. I wasn't sure if it was the wind or someone pulling me from behind. When I turned, there was no one there. I thought it was just my drunkenness, but I soon realized I wasn't alone. There was something in the dark following me. My heart raced as I realized I was all alone, with no one to help if something happened. I started running, but it felt like whatever was behind me was chasing me down. Then I heard cries for help, and the birds started flying out of their nests in panic. I was terrified, but I kept running. Suddenly, something crossed my path, so fast I couldn't see it clearly. At this point, I felt like I was not going to leave the place alive, and whatever was going to hunt me down. I could feel my chilled sweat blowing along my spine as if my blood had gone cold and my heart had stopped pounding. After about 45 minutes of emptiness, nerve-wracking running and me being terrified, I saw some lights in the distance. It was my village, and I felt a wave of relief. When I reached home, I told my mom what had happened. She told me a woman had fallen off the cliff and died, and her spirit roamed the area at night. Villagers avoided that path after dark. I made a promise to myself never to walk that road at night again. But one thing's for certain, if you ever find yourself alone on a deserted road, keep your senses sharp. You never know what might be lurking in the darkness, waiting to reveal itself. And remember, the night holds many secrets, some of which are best left undisturbed.